Hello, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Sarah and I'm Artistic Director with Collective Encounters. For those of you who do know me, I wish I could see you in person. I'm trying to imagine you on the other side of this screen as I do this thing that is probably the weirdest thing I've ever done whilst working with Collective Encounters. The reason I'm doing it is because I think it's important for all of us to feel connected, and at the moment we're all reaching out to our families, to our friends, to the people that matter in our lives. And I know that for those of you who are regular participants with Collective Encounters, our regular members, your lead artist will have been in touch with you already. But I wanted very much to just make a personal contact as far as possible with you and tell you that you are in our hearts and our minds and we are thinking about you all the time. We're trying really hard at Collective Encounters to find ways of maintaining contact with you all, because it's important to us and we assume to you to maintain those lines of communication. So over the last few weeks since the situation changed, we've been talking amongst ourselves and with you to try and find the best ways to keep contact going. Really, this is just to try and explain what we've been doing and what we hope to do in the coming weeks and months. So far, our lead artists will have spoken with nearly all of their members to talk about ways that we might be able to connect digitally. And we're processing that at the moment. We're doing some experimenting. There's been a Facebook Live experiment which didn't go very well, which is why I'm not live streaming this at the moment. By the time you see this, Ben will have done an experiment with the youth theatre via Zoom. That's happening this evening. So we are experimenting, we're trying different ways, and we would very much welcome your comments and your feedback as to how that might happen best for you. So as you're watching this, you'll see there's an opportunity for you to post comments. And if there's anything you'd like to share in there that maybe you have or you haven't shared with your lead artist already about ways that you might like to engage with us digitally or otherwise, please post it in there and we'll follow it up. We're hoping that by the end of next week, we will have found a way to have at least one weekly session with each of our regular groups, as well as continuing our work to try and reach out into communities to find new ways of engaging new people who might be feeling isolated in this time, and new ways of managing our programme and developing our programme over the coming months. As you can imagine, there's been a lot of work going on, researching and looking at what the likely scenarios are, how long this is likely to last, how long we're likely to be in lockdown, etc. And the research is changing all the time, as you all know. At the moment, we're basing our plans on the idea that we're hoping that we will be back up and running with many of our groups by September and with our most vulnerable groups by January of next year. Now that seems a long time away, but I can absolutely promise you that the first thing that will happen when we have everybody back together again is a huge big party, hopefully followed by a tour of an exciting new piece of work and an engagement opportunity that will be celebratory in the way that In Our Times was, for those of you who remember it, who were part of that process. We're trying really to find ways that we can keep connected and keep connecting, and be creative, because obviously we're a theatre company and the reason that we get together, all of us, is to make work, to share ideas, to explore stuff creatively. And at the moment it's more important than ever that we use our creative brains to get through this time, to make sense of it and to document and record our experiences of it. So individually, the lead artists who work on different programmes will talk to you about specifics for their particular programme. But we're hoping that we'll do some cross-programme work. We'd like to be working on things like living newspapers, radio ballads, where people can contribute across the programme, whether you want to write a monologue, record a song, rehearse a sketch online. However it might be, we're hoping to find a range of ways that you can contribute and be involved, and we can put that creative output out there. For specific programs like the Radical Makers, for instance, we're looking at online learning and how we can continue to do that digitally. And as soon as we have some solutions, we'll be there and talking you through it. And for those of you like me who need a bit of hand holding technically, we will, well, I won't be because I'm a bit rubbish, but somebody else will be there to hold your hand through that process, as I'm hoping that people will hold my hand through it. And I suppose on that is just to remind ourselves of what a strong and wonderful team of people we are. Everybody involved in the Collective Encounters family has faced adversity and crisis and challenge through their physical health, their mental health, their personal circumstances, whatever. We've all been through incredibly difficult times. And at the moment, that's what we draw on, and that's what's going to make us resilient as individuals and as members of a community of people who come together to celebrate each other and look for the ways to create a better world. And I do hope that coming out of this, we will see a better, fairer world that responds to the amazing community spirit that we're seeing coming out of this process, and the recognition that our economy can't function as it has done, that the inequalities that have been allowed to continue, that the decimation of the welfare state that we've seen has to stop now. And part of what we'll be doing is actively campaigning to make sure that coming out of this moment of crisis, we can together create a more positive future. So we will be facilitating creative work that can lead to that. The other thing we need is just kind of light touch stuff that's nice, that gets us together to enjoy ourselves and be happy and relax for moments. So with a view to doing that, we're going to start a regular weekly theatre trip, which will be from the comfort and safety of our own homes. So we're going to start it this week with everybody who can tuning in to watch the National Theatre's live at home screening of One Man, Two Governors, which is going to be happening tomorrow night. That's Thursday night at 7 p.m. And to watch that, you just need to go to the National Theatre's YouTube channel and you'll be able to tune in. If you don't get to it on Thursday night, it will be shown on demand for the next 7 days. After that, when we've got our head around the digital platforms a little bit more, we're hoping that we can organise specific Collective Encounters watch parties of stuff where we can all watch together and have a chat afterwards for those of you who want to stay around and talk about the work and unpick it and share ideas. So that will be coming, but we just want to figure out the right platforms, the right ways of doing that first. So I think that's enough for now, really. Just to say, stay in touch, stay safe, look after yourselves, know that we're thinking about you and think about us. Keep in touch by post, by email, by telephone, by Twitter, whatever means is right for you. And do leave comments to tell us how you'd like to be contacted and what might work best for you. Any ideas you want to share with us, if you've got ideas about creative content already, if you've got ideas about things you think we should be doing, people we should be engaging, please, we are completely open to hearing all of those suggestions. So I'm going to sign off for now, and hopefully I will see you all in person before too very long. Bye.